I'm back. Rudrance for the Black and White Network. We're going to talk about Joe Rogan because yesterday he had rapper Freddie Gibbs on, who did some surprising co-signing of Joe Rogan after, of course, the leftists came after Joe, tried to cancel him over the whole N-Word fiasco, and, of course, put together that greatest hits compilation of the N-Word without any context whatsoever. And, of course, so many celebrities decided to weigh in. Samuel L. Jackson the other day gave a ignorant, totally hypocritical take right after we've sat back and watched him co-sign Quentin Tarantino using it for 30 damn years. But you got a problem with Joe Rogan. Now, okay. It's arguments like that that are just flat bullshit. And you need to know, if you're triggered by this, by Joe Rogan and people talking about this, well, shit. It's just the problem is examples just like Samuel L. Jackson. You know, the word really should be sort of abolished out of the English language. But yet here we've got a rapper that will blatantly say, Joe Rogan's not racist, but you shouldn't have said the N-word. As this rapper says it like 30 times in this interview. I'm sorry, but you start losing arguments. I mean, when you start trying to say this class of word is okay for one race, but it's not okay for the other, the fact is people are going to start telling you, go to hell. I mean, look, you're going to start telling you go kick rocks and pound sand, for crying out loud. All right? I don't think anybody should use the word. And at some point, guys like Freddie Gibbs, rappers, you've got to abolish the word too, by the way. You do. It's a thing. All right? And I really don't give a fuck who likes that or not. I mean, you guys know that. So I'm going to always keep it real. Freddie Gibbs goes on Joe Rogan's podcast and condemns the host's use of the N-word, but says he isn't racist. Now, I believe the guy when he says he thinks Joe Rogan's not racist, but then he turns around and tells Joe Rogan he was wrong for using it. Well, Complex is a leftist-leaning website. I'm just letting you know right now. Joe Rogan was in serious hot water a few weeks ago, I guess, after a compilation video went viral on the podcast host saying the N-word across a slew of episodes. Now, mind you, it was like across 8 episodes maybe, or 10 out of 1,780, but okay. And look, I'm not condoning Joe Rogan using it. I'm just saying it sort of was blown out of proportion too, if we really want to get right down to it. Freddie Gibbs recently visited the Joe Rogan Experience alongside Brian Moses, and while the rapper condemned Rogan for using the racial slur, Gibbs also says he doesn't think the comedian is racist. You can't say that shit, Joe, Freddie said in a clip above, because you pissed N-words off when you did that compilation. Well, he didn't do it. Some leftist lunatic singer did it because they were all worked up over his COVID views and trying to get his ass kicked off of Spotify. It was funny as fuck, though. I can't even lie. Okay, so you're saying it's funny. I mean, this shit don't make any sense. Gibbs went on to say that while the compilation video was wrong, he believes Rogan just made a mistake. Yeah, people do just make mistakes, and they shouldn't be canceled off the planet for it. Now, here's where I've got a real problem. I don't think you're a racist, my N. Gibbs continued. You my N. I fuck with you. I never thought you was racist. I just thought you were saying some shit you shouldn't have said, and a lot of us N's say some shit we shouldn't say sometimes. That's true. It is what it is. That's the thing I want to tell white people right now. Y'all just got to let us have that. Like, just let us have N. We got it. It's one thing y'all already human trafficked us over here. Let us have that. Here's the problem. Nobody should have it. And I'm sorry, but nobody should be telling anybody of any race what kind of words they can fucking use. Okay, I mean, I in myself, I hate the word. Okay, I hate the word. I despise the word. But you don't understand the failure of telling one race they can use it over the other? That's some hypocritical bull. I'll tell you, go fuck yourself myself. I mean, look, I mean, I think that's hypocritical horse shit is what that is. And this son of a bitch is smart enough to realize Joe Rogan's not a racist, but not smart enough to realize he's a hypocritical dumb shit over trying to take ownership of a word that's in the English language. I mean, come on here. Later in the clip, Gibbs also commented on Neil Young leaving Spotify because of the misinformation Rogan spread on his podcast about COVID-19 vaccines. Gibbs joked that Young didn't have anything to say about Rogan's racial slur controversy, despite being outspoken about his anti-vax rhetoric earlier. He's got a hell of a good point there. Neil Young, why weren't you outraged about the whole N-word thing? That's a damn good point. Rogan released an apology video after the compilation began circulating online, says he's not racist and never used the word in a hateful way. Quote, I haven't said it in years, but for a long time when I would bring that word up, like if I would come up in conversation instead of saying N-word, I would just say the word. I thought as long as it was in context, people would understand. It did go on to say that they removed about 100 of Joe Rogan Experience videos. Rogan inked a 3-year deal with streamer Spotify for $100 million. It's actually worth $200 million. And then they go on to talk about how valuable their semen is. Okay. I mean, good God. My point is, nobody should say the N-word. Nobody should have ownership of a word that damn heinous. I mean, let's just be real, and that's part of the issue. I've said it before. Freddie Gibbs is a perfect example. Rappers say that shit all through their albums, and do they? So you don't want white people to sing along with your own music? Is that what you're saying? As somebody's rolling down the road? I mean, you think as we're listening to Ice Cube, we're wearing Klan hats? Is that your deal? Really? Have you ever met a fucking racist? They fucking hate rap music, you dumb shit. By the way, I love it. I grew up on it. But you get my point, okay? It's weird. I agree with... I think people with common sense realize Joe Rogan is not a racist, okay? But the hypocritical nature of saying, look, I don't think you're a racist. You're using your noggin now. But that N-word, that's just ours. Well, why don't you be bigger and abolish the motherfucking word out of your cortex? You know? I mean, really? That's our word. No, nobody owns a fucking any word in this English language. Nobody owns shit. Not even that word. Why? Because it's a fucking word. That's why. I find that crazy. It is heinous, but the idea that you have ownership of it. Tell me what you think, Black and White Network fans. Again, abolish the damn word. Everybody, for fuck's sakes. Joe Rogan, Freddie Gibbs, fucking Ice Cube, Vanilla Ice. Everybody, just get rid of the fucking word. Easy peasy. Shit. Peace, I'm out. Till next